What's up, everyone? This is BigPowner, and I'm going to take you guys through a crafting process that's kind of not exactly the the norm for crafting. Why is it I would be doing this kind of weird crafting? The weird crafting is I have bought this double influence item level 86 already qualitied base. It doesn't have anything on it that I really want. The thing is this base, just to make the base, is going to probably cost me at least 5x salts. I would need two bases, and I would attempt, to slam them together and hope that I wind up with something amazing. But the reason why there's so many of these on the market is simply because most of the time it's going to wind up as crap. So instead of starting off with that large investment, I'm starting off by buying a base that someone has failed on and they've given up on. They're going to keep on trying. There's tons like this. This one was originally listed as 3 exalts. I offered him 2, and the guy thanked me for giving him 2 exalts. Uh, the reason why is because if the person's being realistic, they have a piece of trash that most people aren't going to use. However, based on what I can buy stuff for right now, um, and Exalt's giving me about 360 tries to turn this into something, which is a lot of tries. So this is kind of a chance to make a potentially really strong item, um, kind of on the cheap. So I've got a couple Exalts in alchemies and scouring orbs, and I'm gonna start off. It's already been qualitied. If you got one that wasn't qualitied, you could perfect fossil it. Since we're planning on, investing a decent amount, I want a really good piece of gear. I'm gonna try and get an enchant on this, something useful. So that's how I'm gonna start this video. I'm kind of just like trying to make what I've saved currency by buying in cheap. My savings, we could call at least like 3 exalts, because I'm gonna probably wind up paying at least 1 exalt even right now without people out looking for these. The single bases, before you slam them together, one of them's gonna be expensive because people need those in order to slam them together. If they don't do that, you have to buy an orb. Realistically, we're probably talking like more like 6 exalts, to because one of the bases can pretty much be anything. It just needs that one isolated stat, which that is going to cost us something, because it is popular to slam these things together. But realistically, we're probably actually in the range of, to get the double slam chance, we're probably like 6, 7 exalts. At this point in the league, at different points in the league, it could be more expensive. So let's say, we'll guess on the low end, I've saved 4 exalts starting this way. That is a lot of tries. The other reason why this is a really good way for me to start this out is because it would be nice to have elusive and tailwind. However, what I really want is tailwind. If they wind up coming up together, I'm gonna have lots of tries. That would be cool. The thing is for me specifically, I kind of also need resistances somewhere. So if I wind up with Tailwind, some good resistances, some HP, stuff like that, I got a lot of leeway on this build, because movement speed isn't absolutely uh, uh, isn't there's a lot of leeway in this build. The way that I'll present this is, you can see my movement speed across here, and then I take off my boots. This is a loss of 30% movement speed. And we're not really seeing very much of a difference with that 30% movement speed, because I have a spammable movement skill. If I wind up with really high movement speed on this build, then it's nice, but it's not absolutely needed, because I can kind of tweak the build a little bit. I can put faster attacks. I can do a 4 link on my 3 link instead, and I can speed up the build through increased attack speed. So that's
Oh,
kind of the
go
reason why I'm at
on.
that point. So I'm going to start off by going ahead and trying to get a useful enchantment on this. So let's go. Alright, chance free shock and ignite. If you haven't crit recently, that's going to be useless because this is a crit build. So that's going to essentially not do anything for me ever. If you haven't killed recently, that also is going to be pretty much useless for me. Okay, so damage, I was actually looking at the stats. So, and those are the extra cold damage is actually something that would be good for the build. But life leech, not really what I'm looking for. I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna keep on going. Like cold damage added, or penetration on isolated targets. That would be something that's good. Movement speed. If you haven't been hit, I'm not gonna get hit a lot. That would be good. 2% if you're hit recently. Meh, it's all right. Not exactly what I want. Hopefully, I'm gonna get something. It's kind of just one of those things of, oh, if you've taken a critical hit, it's chaos damage. Not really. That's not gonna help me. Um, lightning damage again. Come on, give me cold damage, or give me penetration or movement speed. 5% leeches life if you killed recently. That's better, 0.5% leeches life, because it's if you've killed recently. I'm gonna try again. Not exactly what I wanted. Alright, well, for the sake of the video, I didn't think that, I thought I'd get something that I'd stop on. It's not that big of a deal. We're gonna go ahead and try and craft. Actually, let's see if I can buy some of these real quick. Let's see if it doesn't take me very long. I don't really want to. I would like to actually make this. This is something I'm actually going to use. So, hopefully, let's see, enchanted fossils. Where are you? Enchanted. Let's remove that. No, that's. Let's try the other searchy place. If they're just not accessible, then it'll be whatever. Enchanted, chaos. Let's see if we can get some group. I don't know why people do these like weird pricings on them. Just anyone got bulk? All right, this guy's got 6. Okay, so back to trying. I mean, I guess I'll use this one and see if that's the magic one. That I only needed one more, and I could have avoided the trading. Nope. Let's get some more. Okay, cool. I still have some more of these, so at least it's not multiple tradings. I don't want that really. I have a decent amount of regeneration at this point, honestly. So that's just a lower regeneration. Okay, here we go. 10% movement speed if you haven't been hit recently. That's nice. We will go ahead and stick with that. Now we're going to go ahead and load up. This is going to be a numbers game. Alright, let's get it on. Endurance charge gained. Endurance charge gained wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing. It's more damage reduction, um, but that's not one of the main things that we're looking for. If it was kind of like one of those extra things, is like, is it good enough? Does the other stuff make this a keeper? It would be a positive. It would be for the positive keep side. The +2 to cold skill gems is actually a pretty strong thing because we can socket multiple. Dude, that is a low. That's a man. We got week 1 stuff selling. Still trade +1. Stuff's pushed so far over. Brimstone. Okay. Let's get those back real quick. Alright. Back to this now. So we have the cold damage, the extra cold damage, and tier 1 movement speed. Those are nice, but it's not the main things that we're looking for. I really want the main thing that I want is the action speed, because that's a 10% actual increase to everything. Damage, movement speed. It's actually more movement speed. It's 10% to total. So like on my build specifically, as it was 24% increased. That's a nice life roll, man. Too bad didn't have some good stuff to go along with it. Tailwind, that's what I was talking about, the increased action speed. That's what Tailwind does. Keep on hitting that that tier 1 movement speed, but just with nothing else on it. And the things that you want most are probably going to depend on when you make these. For me, like, I'm kind of got a lot of open spaces. Alright, so I got Tailwind here. However, it's by itself. The cold resistance tier 2 is nice, but we have 2 other things, and it would be an Exalt Slam and 1 craft. That's not good enough. 2 stats is not that's not a go ahead. I really want alright, so we got elusive, and everything else is crap. We got elusive, but it's full of a bunch of garbage. And elusive is a lower priority, because it does give us dodge chance, movement speed, but the Tailwind just plain and simple is a stronger mod. So we got elusive, but everything else on it's crap. Got some nice resistance rolls with a nice life roll, but there's nothing else to go along with it. We're not trying to make a regular pair of boots with our double influence boots. Got the tier 1 movement. We got a dodge on it. A dodge isn't a bad roll on the bottom. The thing is the elusive kind of, like, if you're going for dodge, the elusive, because it gives 50, well, peaks at 15 and then it degrades. But, and this wouldn't be a bad roll on, like, some like, I don't know, regular boots you could craft on. Movement speed with onslaught dual mod, that would be a good thing, but for the this Frostblade Raider, we have onslaught guaranteed through our ascendancy, so we don't, it's not desirable to have more onslaught on our build. That's just kind of wasting points. It's basically like having nothing there. Well, it is. It is having nothing there. It's a slot taken, not giving you anything. Nope, that's crap. That's crap, man. That's crap. Alright, let's move this stuff in. And the reason why I'm not just buying something is, just you always want to look at the market and see what it is that you can buy, and based on the prices of nice stuff with just the elusive, and not elusive, the tailwind, you're talking a lot. There wasn't very much to select from with the things that I wanted, and very expensive. I definitely think I'll wind up with something a lot nicer, with less invested with this method. And since we started with a dual base, we have the chance to wind up with, with both in some situation that could wind up where our goal targets for the build are met and also could have that. So that is the reason why I'm starting with it. Obviously adding an influence to it that doesn't offer a lot. Some of the stuff that it's offering is not good for the build, or not good specifically for my build. Does decrease the chances of us winding up with that winning combination that we're looking for if we were only going for the tailwind, but the extra chances of getting something good in the slot, the overall chances of getting an elusive alone, tailwind alone, are lower, but we have also the chance to make an even better item. Which, since we're going with a large quantity craft, we're going to have lots of chances to possibly get lucky. So why not? There's also always the chance that we wind up rolling something that's really good for another build. They could turn into currency that, pays for this craft and another one. That is always a possibility. If you wind up with something really good, even if it don't work in your build, sell it and start over. Because realistically, I don't have much invested, even if I use all of this stuff. Could go a couple rounds, still not have that much invested, because we kept our purchase price initially really low. Oh man, look at that. Look at that HP. that HP and the extra strength on top of that. It's what 120 HP on boots, but no open slot, and it's not what we're looking for. But that was a big roll. That was a big roll. Okay, so we got triple resistance, tier 1 cold. Those actually are pretty nice. I'm gonna try a... It's not really what I was looking for, but... Ah, alright, now it's trash. The triple resistance is, if I could have removed the armor, just because it's triple resistance, and I could craft on dual mod, like, honestly, I could actually probably, I could sell these right now, for more than I have invested. Or actually, yeah, definitely more. Probably, but I really don't. For the sake of the video, I'm gonna roll over it. If it was like over 40 for each resistance, okay. Oh, it's elusive. No. All right. Well, this one is one that I cannot roll over because this is kind of the scenario that I was telling you guys about. Now I take and I craft on movement speed and onslaught, and these are very valuable boots because we have tier 1 life, we have the elusive, 20% movement speed, onslaught, 2 resistances, and strength. These are actually better than my boots, I believe now. Yeah, definitely. So I think we're gonna go ahead and keep these for now, and then I will probably start over with another one. I don't know if I will do another video. This is kind of just a demonstration of, you know, how I'm crafting these to give you guys ideas on how to save currency. To give you an idea, I basically, with that roll, have made an item that I could double what I've spent, which means if I spend the same amount and I wind up hitting something as something that's better for my build than this, then I can turn around and immediately sell this for what I've spent, which this is a pretty big deal for me because this takes care of some of my resistances, which are kind of an issue, and it leads to a big life. It's actually the same life because this has dual mod and that, but a lot more resistances, which are kind of crucial for me right now. As you can see now, I have 51, 54, and 10%, so I'm still trying to make up the resistances. So these are probably going to get used by me until I wind up crafting something better, but this is not, something like this is something you can't roll over. I mean, tier 1 life, 2 resistances that can be over 40%, strength, which that's an extra 16 health, so that's effectively, if I were to like try to perfect roll this, 105 HP with elusive, and being able to choose what type of, I'm not going to actually do the movement speed and onslaught. I was just giving an example of how it would be the most valuable, which this would be the way to craft it to make it the most valuable. But for my specific build, I wouldn't do the onslaught. I would actually go with the cannot be chilled, because we can go increase movement speed. It's the same movement speed and cannot be chilled, which is an advantage because then I'm just always not going to be chilled. Or you could go with the 24% movement speed. Divining this first is kind of something you would want to do. You know, I may just use these. These are pretty nice. I'll probably move on to my next craft. I may come back. but these are pretty dope. My movement speed is now going to be higher. I had 30% on these. The elusive gives 30% movement speed decaying and 15% attack dodge and spell dodge. And then I have 10% now on my enchantment, and I have an effective more life actually. 27 and 67, that's 90. So even as it is right now, this is 96. This is 6 more HP and more resistances. So this is a win, and this was a very cheap craft. If we include the initial purchase of 2 exalts, we include what I used of my alchemies, and probably like 1 exalt there, and probably between the actual crafting tries and the between the crafting tries and the me fossiling it to get an enchantment on there, it's probably about 4 exalts is what this cost me, and I can definitely sell this for more than 4 exalts. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed watching like a whole crafting till it winds up being finished. I'm glad I was able to get something that got finished. Anyways, thanks for watching. Peace. Lots more crafting videos on the way, man.